Hey guys, how's it going? Robert Warshak here. We're going to be covering some more of the Descent of Dragon cards. In this video, we'll be going over what we didn't hit last video, the Priest, Rogue, Shaman, Warlock, Warrior, neutral cards in this particular video. And first things first, we're going to be taking a look at the Priest cards. So we have Fate Weaver, the 4-mana 3/6 Dragon Battlecry. If you've invoked twice, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. So like an Emperor Tharzan for the dragons. Invoking twice before turn 4. I don't know how hard that's going to be. But if you can invoke twice before turn 4, it's pretty good because you can just play this on curve. The ability is very, very nice. But the thing is, it has the requirement of needing to invoke twice. So if you don't have these cards to play before this guy, you're kind of just playing a 4-mana 3/6 dragon, which is still pretty good, but it's not that good. And if you hold on to this guy and you play other cards, that means there's not as many cards in your hand. So when you Fate Weaver, you're reducing cards by 1, but you already have, upwards of 6, 7, 8 mana. So you would have played those cards anyway. So as good as this card looks at first, I think it's going to depend on how many times we can invoke before playing this guy, or if there's any potential combo priest cards and abilities that make it so reducing them by 1 allows you to do this crazy thing that does this thing, which we don't know yet because we haven't seen all the cards, but you know what I'm saying. So Time Rip, 5 mana, destroy a minion, invoke. So 5 mana, destroy a minion. I mean, that's really not that great. It reminds me of cards like Walk the Plank, Assassinate, Siphon Soul. Those all kind of fit the 4 through 6, destroy a singular minion. They're played sometimes, but right now those aren't really the most powerful cards. Priest has a lot of already good removal. Looking at Plague of Death, looking at Mass Hysteria. Destroying a single minion for 5 mana doesn't seem like something a priest. That's very inefficient for a priest, and priest is very efficient at killing anything they want to kill whenever they want to kill it. But it does have the invoke mechanic on it, and they probably couldn't make it too good, or that would just be insane. So depending on how many cards say invoke and how many, how quickly we can play them, this card will probably be maybe be a 1 of. It's hard to say. And then we have the Gala Priest card, the 7-mana Battlecry, destroy a random enemy minion, invoke it to upgrade. Each time it upgrades, it's going to kill. The second time is 2 minions, the third time is 4 minions, and then of course you get the Claw, the 5/2 Claw if you've upgraded both times into the level 3 one. Its hero power grants you a random Priest minion, so some of you could be thinking some sort of unlimited value or ultimate value. The thing is, there's a lot of really bad Priest minions. There's also a lot of really good Priest minions, so it'll be RNG. Most of the time it'll be okay. So moving towards Rogue, we have Candle Breath, a 6-mana, draw 3 cards, cost 3 while you're holding a dragon. Drawing 3 cards for 3 mana is insane. That's really, really good for Rogue. If you're paying 6 for this, it's really, really bad. So you're definitely going to want a dragon. And then it's a good card, so easy. Wax Dread, 5 mana, ooh, it's the legendary Rogue card. 5 mana, 7/5 dragon, Death Rattle, shuffle a candle into your deck that resummons Wax Dread when drawn. So that's a really powerful ability. For 5 mana, 7/5 in stats is big. It counts as a dragon, so you get the dragon synergy there. And it's a card that left unchecked. If you have not that many cards in your deck, it's probably going to be it probably won't resummon itself more than maybe once or twice in a game, but it's a really annoying ability, and depending on how long the match goes on, it could see a lot of value. But overall, just for the stat line and the fact it's a dragon is good. And the Death Rattle, if it ever procs an additional time through drawing the candle, I mean, that's just all of a sudden it's totally worth it. It's like when you buy a pass someplace and the second time you go, you saved money already. This is kind of that guy where you paid it. It's it's not really worth it if you go one time, but the second you go to the park again, it's totally worth it. Wax Dread, not too terrible. And I like the whole candle thing, unless it's my opponent and I kill this thing and then they draw the candle the turn after that, which is totally going to happen. But overall, I think it's pretty cool. 4 mana 3/3 Battlecry. If you've invoked twice, add 3 coins to your hand, the Umbral Stalker. So very good, right? Not overly statted. It's okay. It's a 4 mana 3/3, so it's not terrible. But the whole invoking thing obviously can't be that hard because we've seen a lot of invoked twice, and 3 coins is basically 3 innervates. So you get 3 innervates in your hand for just doing something your deck's probably going to do anyway. So seems pretty good to me. Praise Gala, 1 mana, give a minion +1 attack and invoke Gala. So this is the cheapest of the invoke mechanics we've seen so far. So 1 mana, give a minion +1 attack and then invoke. Not very powerful at all. I mean, this is very not powerful. I mean, paying 1 mana to give a minion +1 attack is nothing, as we have seen Blessing of Might, which does 3 attack for 1 mana, but it has the invoke thing on here. And as we know, when we invoke, Gala gets upgraded after we've done it twice. So 4 times in total to upgrade him to his final form. Moving to Warlock, we have the Worshipper, the 4-mana 5/4 Battlecry. If you've invoked twice, draw 3 cards. So that card's really good. Drawing 3. So we looked at a rogue card where it's like if you have a dragon, pay 3 mana, draw 3. How about if you've just played cards that say invoke for 4 mana, summon a 5/4, and just draw 3 cards? So that's crazy. So Worshipper is an insane card that will be 100% played in any sort of invoke deck. Wow. I guess unless you're in fatigue, then you don't want this card to occur, but most of the time you're probably not going to be in fatigue, and you're going to draw 3 cards, which is huge. Fiendish Rites, invoke and give your minions +1 attack. So kind of similar to the rogue card that we just went over. 1 mana, give a minion +1 attack. This is give you all of your minions +1 attack and invoke. So if you have only 1 minion out, this card is even worse than that rogue card that we covered. So you basically have to have 3 minions out for this to be anywhere near as good as that rogue card we went over. And if you're playing cards like this in your deck, I'm assuming that your early game may not be that great. Maybe you're playing a zoo deck. It's hard to say. So maybe it's like a zoo Gala deck. This seems like a pretty not powerful card. It's like a half-ass Savage Roar. 3 mana Dragon Blight Cultist, Battlecry Invoke, gain +1 attack for each other friendly minions. Okay, so this guy gets an attack for each other friendly minion. The Fiendish Rites buffs every other minion +1 attack. So it's kind of like the inverse of one another. 3 mana, but it's a 1/1. So it's gonna be like, this card is like really bad. This card is so bad. You have 2 minions out. So let's say turn 3, you've got 2 or 3 minions out. So he's at what, a 3/1 who invoked? That's terrible. Like, that's actually terrible. So this card is pretty bad. Like, this is an awful card. And now we have the Warlock Gala card. We've seen most of the other ones. This is one we haven't seen yet. Battlecry, summon 1 random demon. Obviously, if we hit it twice, he summons 2. And we level him up for the 3rd time, he's going to summon 4. And then we get the Claw. Hero power, summon 2 1/1 imps. So being able to swarm the board seems like a very zooey thing to do. We're giving up our draw hero power for summoning minions, very similar to Paladin hero power, which is good. And kind of fits what the zoo's trying to do. So maybe just playing shitty minions up front to get this guy to level 3. You summon 4 minions, summon 4 demons, you get the upgraded hero power. Maybe it's worth it in the end, but Fiendish Rites and Dragon Blight Cultists are pretty bad cards. Moving to Warrior, we have Deathwing, the Mad Aspect, 8 mana, 12/12 dragon. This guy is a thick boy. Battlecry, attack all other minions. Woo! So he does something right away. So this is something we haven't seen with a Warrior card in quite some time, that when you play Warrior Legendary, it impacts the board immediately with an effect that is actually good. This seems good, because if your opponents have no minions, he's an 8 mana 12/12, which needs to be dealt with, or they're just going to lose. And if they have a couple minions on the board, you're going to be able to trade. The bad thing is, if they happen to have any poisonous minions, that's very bad, very bad. But if they don't have any poisonous minions, and your opponent, like for example, there's Shaman, they have a bunch of 1/1s out, and you play this guy, you're killing all of their 1/1s, so he's a field clear, and he's going to be on board. Really good dragon card. It's nice to see a decent Warrior Legendary that isn't awful. We've seen a lot of awful Warrior Legendaries over the past couple years, and it's finally good to see one that doesn't look like trash. Thank you. So moving to the neutral, sorry there wasn't more than just that single Warrior Legendary, but I'm glad at least we saw something that was a bing bang boosh. So Devoted Maniac, a 4 mana 2/2 rush, Battlecry Invoke. Invoke has to be worth some a lot of mana, because a lot of these Invoke cards, this is not a good card. I mean, a 4 mana 2/2 rush is kind of just bad, but I guess the Invoke is worth at least a mana, maybe a mana and a half, it seems to be, by what we are seeing these stat lines being, and like what the mana cost is. But yeah, Devoted Maniac, bad card. Evasive Draconoid, a 7 mana 7/7 dragon, taunt, can't be targeted by hero powers or spells. It's actually not a bad card. Granted, it's a common card, and it's a neutral. It's not bad. Not being able to target minions with hero powers or spells makes it so they have to use cards like maybe Brawl or Warpath or Plague of Death or Twisting Nether to kill them, which are, I just listed out a bunch there, but it's actually not as efficient as you think. And opponents having to trade, people like going face, and when you put taunts in their way, they get upset when they can't hit it with spells, they get more upset. So granted, this probably won't be main decked by a lot of dragon decks, but it's still not it's definitely not a bad dragon to discover. And with the new recent discover changes, it has I believe a higher chance to hit the neutral cards now. I don't know if that was just for Dr. Boom or all discovers. I'm sure you guys will yell at me in the comment below like, how did you not know this? But either way, this is not a bad discover dragon. 8 mana, 4/10 dragon, battle cry, deal 4 damage to 2 random enemy minions. Again, I like any card that does something when it gets on the board, because if it gets removed the turn after, at least it did something. So 8 mana to do basically kill 2 minions doesn't seem that bad. Plus it has a 4/10, so it's almost going to be impossible to kill, and it's going to be able to kill whatever kind of attacks. 4 attack is a decent amount of attack as well. Is this again a main deck card? No, but at least it's a common card that's good in arena, and it's not a bad discover mechanic. All right, it's not a bad discover card. So with that, that covers everything that's been out so far. Would love to hear what you guys have to say about some of these new cards. Again, some things they may have missed. I will continue bunching these into 5 to 10 minute review videos for you once more and more cards get released. I'm not covering 2 cards in a video and pumping out 27 review videos. I refuse to do that, and that's a waste of your time. So we're gonna group them up. We're gonna cover 10 to 15 per video, and I think that's a good little hefty chunk. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next episode. Of course, I'm Robert Warshak, and happy whatever the hell day it is.